No, I didn't work for UPS, but I've had this happen out of a bobtail once. There was a time before I started dispatching and I was in transportation where somehow on Wednesday nights, either I was signing up for overtime probably, because I had Tuesday night and Wednesday night off. Marie and I had separated by now, and I was not living with her, but we were still in contact. I mean, I never hated her or nothing. Well, I was being assigned the Pinnacle run. Now, what the Pinnacle is it's a weekly newspaper in San Benito County. That's in Hollister, where Hollister's the county seat, and it used to be printed by a guy who owned the big grocery store before Safeway moved in and bankrupted him. Anyway, he would print more like a shopper, not really a journalistic endeavor. Well, there was two gals at the Mercury who were married. Well, we're going to get married. One was a writer and one was a photographer. And they decided they didn't want to work at the Mercury anymore, and they bought the Pinnacle. And then they turned it into a serious newspaper, which I thought was awesome. Anyway, we had the print job for some reason, the print and the delivery job. Now, we had union press, union mailroom, and union drivers, so we charged a pretty penny for that, but the quality of the product was better than any of the print houses because we spent $1 gazillion on modernizing our presses. So it was a Wednesday one-shift job. It was an 8-hour job, and you'd back in the stall, and some days I would drive a step van. And the days I didn't drive a step van, and I knew I was in a bobtail, usually 301, 302, or 303, which were our shortest single axle bobtails, they fit 15 carts. So it was a 15 cart bobtail. And I would take that. If I was working the Pinnacle and I knew I was in a bobtail, I would call Marie and she would drive out and meet me in the parking lot. And then when I was loaded, I'd swing out, pick her up, and we'd go do the Pinnacle. And then we'd go have breakfast at Denny's in Red Bluff at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we'd drive back to the plant. It was a nice, enjoyable outing. Anyway, what the Pinnacle job was you loaded up the truck and then you actually had a route that you did. So you dropped at a couple of stores, and not just in Hollister. I mean, I went down 25 and I went out by, I want to say Prunedale too, but no, out kind of towards Aromas, and it was a pretty good hike, and then all through rural San Benito County as well, north of Hollister and kind of sort of south of 152. Anyway, it was a pretty good. It was a really nice run. I mean, you load your truck and you leave, and you just do your job. Well, anyway, one day I'm in the bobtail, and I'm at the first couple of stops, and I can't think of the little town. It might be Aromas, and I forgot to shut the back door, and I drive out, and it's 20 minutes to Hollister, and I'm dropping product out the back. I'm dropping product on 101. I don't know it until I get to the Hollister post office, and then I go around the back and go, oh shit, I've got a problem. So I double back by, and I salvaged a bunch of the bundles, and we started to pick stuff up off of 101, and there wasn't really traffic, but I look at Marie and said, oh, it's just going to have to wait. It's unsalvageable. So I picked up at least half a bobtail full of trash. I managed to compensate by dropping some places less for the amount of damaged papers. We didn't go to breakfast. I came back. Marie was sad, and she's always remembered this. We'd be driving, and she'd see newspapers, and she'd say, hey, are those Pinnacles? So I never heard the end of it. Anyway, so I get back to the plant, and I have to tell the boss, hey, This is what happened, and I did my best, and I went home. I don't know what to do. Well, I dumped all the trash out, which took me about half an hour because it was just a mess. Anyway, I was stunned that I never got written up for that, but I don't think they put me on the Pinnacle anymore. And then we lost the contract, and there you go. So that's my stuff out the backstory. Thank you for watching Storytime with Joe.